Welcome aboard. Today is Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014. I reference Medscape quite a bit because it's an interesting source for information. This is MD centrist information. It gives you a little window into the way that the MDs think. Death due to unnatural, quote-unquote, causes more common in diabetes. This from Medscape Medical News, published June 2nd, 2014. That's yesterday. Unnatural deaths are more common among people with diabetes, at least in Sweden, according to the results of a new study. The findings represent the first comprehensive national epidemiologic study of unnatural death in diabetes and were published online May 21st in Diabetes Care by Roger T. Webb, Ph.D. The researchers found increased risks for death from unnatural causes, including suicide, accidents, and homicides among people with both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. They also showed that the fatalities occurred at a younger age among diabetic patients than in the general population. The investigators examined data for a total of 252,000 individuals in the Swedish National Diabetes Register. They were 55% male with a mean age of 69 years of age. Each person with diabetes was compared with 5 matched people from the general Swedish population of 1,260,000 people. The relative risk for suicide was 3.36 amongst the diabetics, and for all type of accidents, about 2.0. Marked elevations were seen among diabetic patients for deliberate self-poisoning, 5%, accidental poisoning, 4%, transportation accidents, 4%, while the number and rate of homicides was small. The risk was still statistically significantly higher higher among those with diabetes. These strong associations persisted after further adjustment for mental illness and educational levels, the researchers noted. So again, it's an out-of-control train, right? This is what happens when you pour into a living, breathing, animate, physical body synthetic man-made drugs, the intention of which are not to fix the problem. Your medical doctor is not trained how to fix your health condition. They're trained to manage your symptoms with drugs. They're trained to manage your symptoms with drugs because they don't believe that your body can fix itself. They're not trained that your body can fix itself because they don't believe in the presence of the spiritual, intelligent force inside the body, because nobody has discovered that. Nobody has ever weighed the soul, right, or seen it with an ultrasound or a CT scan. So therefore, to the MD, it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist. Now, every holistic medical field in the world believes in the presence of an intelligent, spiritual, vital force that animates the human body and which brings intelligence to bear on all the operative functions of the human body. All of the stuff that's happening in your body right now automatically, everything that happens in your body, all of the biochemical processes, all of the cellular reactions, everything is guided by something. It's got to be guided by something. I mean, how does the insulin know to stick to the cell wall? How does that happen? Well, how does it know? Well, how does it know? Well, I'll tell you how it knows. It knows by the intelligence imbued in it by your spiritual body. Your body has intelligence. Your body is so smart, right? It grew itself all by itself from a single-celled organism into you, right? Your MD doesn't believe this, however. Your MD thinks it's all just some type of, they've never been able to explain why. Quite frankly, they don't even want you to ask the question. So, when into an intricate biochemical living system, filled with checks and balances and millions, if not billions, if not trillions of biochemical reactions happening all of the time, you throw man-made synthetic drugs, guess what's going to happen? You're going to gum up the works, and you're going to have trickle-down effects everywhere else in the body. This is a very difficult statistic to secure. And these Swedish researchers, it was interesting to me that they actually made the connection here, but I've been saying this for years, that I am convinced that there is a gigantic relationship between automobile accidents and pharmaceutical medication dosing. I'm convinced. And if you don't think I'm correct, well, here's what I want you to do. Stop taking all of your prescription medications for a year, and then take a prescription medication and see how it makes you feel. Or if you haven't taken any prescription medications, take a prescription medication and see how it makes you feel. I mean, even if it's just an antibiotic, it messes with the way that you think. It messes with the way that you feel. Because everything in the body is connected. And when you throw a stone into the east end of the pond, the ripples eventually make it over to the west end of the pond, right? Everything is affected.